Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charlton, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a pretty interesting episode for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So please make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today I want to talk about the Golden State Warriors and Draymond Green. Right now, as y'all know, within the last 24 hours, there was some pretty disturbing news that came out of the Golden State Warriors organization, which basically said that, hey, Draymond Green and one of their younger players, Jordan Poole, literally got into a physical altercation. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard Draymond Green at odds with some of his former teammates. Obviously, we can go back to the Kevin Durant situation there that actually happened on court. And then ultimately, we all know how that story pretty much ended. But what I want to do here is actually get into this article. There are myriad of articles out there talking about it, but I think I think I'm going to read here. I think I'm going to read from fadeawayworld.net. So let me just get into this article here. Starts off with the headline: Draymond Green faces potential disciplinary action after he forcefully strikes Jordan Poole during practice. The article continues on. Draymond Green has developed a reputation for being a very aggressive player, both to his teammates and to his opponents. Many people appreciate the intensity Green brings to the game and the contributions he makes to the Warriors as their primary defensive stopper and vocal on the court leader for the team. Yelling at teammates to motivate them is understandable and something that happens regularly in sports. What doesn't happen is teammates turning on each other and fighting during practice. That is exactly what happened in the Golden State Warriors practice, according to Shams Charania, as Draymond Green struck Jordan Poole in the chest, faces a possible internal suspension for attacking Poole. Basically, the article continues on to say, when a heated altercation with guard Jordan Poole escalated, Dream forcefully struck Poole and needed to be separated swiftly, sources said. Green and Poole came chest to chest, with both players pushing and shoving each other prior to Green's escalation of the physical altercation. Those sources said the Warriors stopped practice and tried to settle nerves in the team's locker room area, but it appears that internal discipline is imminent. Poole and Green are known to regularly get into verbal arguments, but the team's management and leadership believe a line was crossed. Draymond Green and Poole are both up for contract extensions for the Warriors this season, with many believing the team will have to make a choice and decide which of the players to keep. Poole's market value was set by the recent contract extension by Tyler Hero, and Draymond Green has been advocating for a max contract extension for himself after his role in the Warriors' fourth NBA title. So you heard what this article had to say here, and also I think it's important that I note that Andre Iguodala also came out and had a few things to say. I believe it was via Twitter. He said, What we're not going to do is talk crazy about my young fella JP. Great character kid, missed me with all that BS straight from the source. And then he continues on and he says in another tweet, and it's family business with my bro Money Green, Draymond Green. You heard what the article had to say there, and you heard what teammate, seasoned veteran in Andre Iguodala had to say about the altercation between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Here are my thoughts on the situation here. As I was reading about this story, I started coming across various articles with some Warriors fans expressing their displeasure with this incident and saying that Draymond Green, this guy, may have cost us multiple NBA championships. The first one they pointed to was the foul, the flagrant wrong foul or whatever it was against LeBron James in the 2016, I believe, at NBA Finals, and he was given retroactively after the game, and then he ended up being suspended. A lot of Warriors fans and a lot of people at large still believe that suspension had a very, very detrimental impact on the chances of the Golden State Warriors winning the NBA championship. A lot of people feel like that didn't work in their favor, and it gave the Cleveland Cavaliers a second wind. That's the first one. Ultimately, they have the second one with Kevin Durant when they had won back-to-back NBA championships, but then they had an on-the-court verbal spat, and Draymond Green got in his face. We know the backstory of that, and I think later down the line, Kevin Durant, I believe, admitted that, hey, wait a minute, that exchange that we had, played a role in us, played a role in me wanting to leave, that team. So This is just another example of this, to be quite honest with you. And I'm going to be candid about this. Maybe some Golden State Warriors fans will disagree with me, which is fine, but I'm going to give you guys my thoughts about this. If you watch the NBA Finals, what we saw was Draymond Green, for most of the time, not really being a factor at all, being a non-factor, if you watch the games. And Draymond Green was talked about more for what he was saying than actually what he was doing, if we're being honest. I think if you ask some objective Warriors fans, I think if you ask them, do you think the Warriors would have won that championship without Draymond? I think most of them would say they would still believe that team would have won it, right? And which brings us to the situation with the contract situation. Jordan Poole played very well in the playoffs, and in the finals, he was a contributor, like in a tangible way. You can look at it, you can see it. And I think if the Golden State Warriors have to make a decision, obviously, Jordan Poole has two things working in his favor. Number one, his performance in the playoffs and in the finals. That's number one. Number two, his youth, right? Excuse me. Youth is going to definitely help him. Now, obviously, Draymond Green doesn't mirror the things for the Golden State Warriors. Play defense. You know, he's a vocal leader. He says picks. He does a lot of the great things for the team, and no one is discounting that. If we're looking at these two guys here, I think most people probably lead towards Jordan Poole. But here's something that I want to say about the Golden State Warriors, and it's something that I said about the Brooklyn Nets when they initially came together. I said this. The video's out there. The audio's out there. I said that although that team was talented, I felt like the one thing that could cause them not to achieve the ultimate goal, in that case was winning the NBA championship, was drama. Internal drama. Things that have nothing to do with basketball. I think what the Warriors can ill afford to have this season is unnecessary drama. Now, some teams thrive off of it, right? The Shaq and Kobe Lakers, but those guys want a totally different mental wavelength. Obviously, you have the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls. We saw that in The Last Dance, but you're talking about the greatest player to ever play the sport. You're talking about Phil Jackson, who's probably the best coach at managing big personalities. Just look at the people he's coached: Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Pau Gasol, and these guys. Ron Artest. He also coached Ron Artest. But I just, you know, looking at the landscape of the Western Conference, there are going to be some tough teams out there, and I think this team needs to be together. And when you have these type of, you know, internal disputes and all of these things, some people may say, well, you know, it can bring us close together. Yeah, I guess, but you know, if I'm being honest, it would be better off if we didn't have those type of altercations. So to me, you know, it's still the Golden State Warriors. They're still a seasoned team. They're a dynastic type of team. But I don't think this is a good thing. I just don't. I really don't. Now, some people would disagree with me, but to me, I just don't think this helps them. So these are my thoughts and opinions about this. So what I want to know from the audience, number one, what do you think about this news with this altercation? Yet again, with Draymond Green and a Golden State Warriors teammate. And what do you think this is going to have an impact on their chances moving in the future? And the final question is, if you had to make a decision between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green and you're a Warriors executive, who would you go with? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode.